Hey kids, want to see a dead body?
Hello, I'm Pluto Burns and welcome to another Recommend segment, doing something a little different this time. I'm doing a listicle of Korean mangas I think you should check out. Now, if you spend a lot of time on the scan sites, you might have noticed there's a large influx of Korean webcomics that have been added to the sites lately. And if you checked a lot of them out, you may have also noticed that a ton of them are basically softcore porn. And they're all right for that, but come on, that's not what this show's about. This show's about actually good storytelling. So, I've got 5 Korean manhwas that you can check out because they're actually good stories on their own merits. For number 5, we've got Cutie Boy, or Hot-Blooded Woman, or Nice Guy Syndrome, or Sexy Simpleton, or Witch Shop, and oh my god, they don't stop! This is more of a recommendation for basically anything Hwang Mi-ri has ever worked on. And holy shit, has she released a lot of manga. I've only read 2, Hot-Blooded Woman and Cutie Boy. They're both hilarious. They all seem to center around high school gangsters falling in love with women, and that's pretty cliche, but if it's funny, it's worth it. And they actually have some decently written romances. If you're looking for a specific recommendation, Cutie Boy is probably the more accessible of the 2. Hot-Blooded Woman has a really rocky start, not helped by the pretty poor scan quality, and you may not even want to read all 24 volumes of it since it does start to repeat itself after a while. But yeah, no, as you can see from all these covers, they're all sparkly, shiny shoujo romances, and if you've been looking for something different in that category, Hwang Mi-ri. Number 4, The Breaker, and its sequel, The Breaker New Waves. This one is also a pretty standard story. Loser guy who gets the crap kicked out of him every day by bullies bumps into a world of mystical martial arts that he gets roped into because of his sensei is like the greatest martial artist of all time. And again, this is just very cliche work, but being Korean, it's got a slightly different flavor to it, and the characters are good. The main guy who goes through all the training, he's got a really nice solid character arc. His sensei is probably the best version of the perverted sensei that I've ever seen because he sucks at picking up women or just has terrible luck, even though with his chiseled man body you think he'd get all the girls. It's gone on for a while. I haven't seen it updated for a while, but there's plenty for you to chew into. Number 3, we have one of those newfangled webcomic format mangas, Nano. This one's about a guy who's the younger brother of a really, really famous robotician, androidtician? What do you call someone who makes robots? Nano is about a younger brother of a really famous roboticist, but she killed herself because I honestly don't know, and left her younger brother with a robot named Nano. Except she didn't show up until his most recent birthday, and now that she has showed up with her insane microbot powers, she's the target of so many corporations trying to steal her, and now his life is in danger. That doesn't go where you think it's gonna go. Yeah, they've got the usual corporations trying to stop them and they fight back with their robot powers, but it's much more character focused. There's an entire segment that's just about this one repair droid realizing she doesn't want to sabotage the little robot and human family unit that they've built up with Nano and the boy. It's pretty gut-wrenching at times, and the art is stylish. It's not like anything else I've ever seen, and that's a big fault of a lot of the softcore porno ones. They all start to look the same. So yes, Nano List, for something a little interesting in the robotics department, doesn't really dive too deeply into robotic theory of the mind, but it's a fun romp nonetheless. Number 2, The Gamer. Okay, guy has MMO powers in real life. Thanks, Butternut. He lives in a world where people have magic powers either from being born with them or developing them through martial arts training. And most of the time they manifest themselves as pretty standard. I can shoot fireballs, I can power up my body and punch stuff. It's all very standard magic setting stuff. His power is that he is literally living an MMO. So one day, he can see people's like level and name description over their heads, and when he says menu, a menu pops up in front of his face. No one else can see it but him, but he's got like stats and an inventory that he can just shove like his school supplies into and pull them back out like a fourth dimensional pocket space. And it's so crazy watching him develop this power. He eventually learns how to shoot mana bolts. He develops all sorts of really great powers just to survive in this new world that he's been thrown into. One of his old friends is a part of it, so he gets some tutoring there. But what's so much fun about it is it's got the grindy elements of, say, a sports manga where you watch someone develop a power by thinking about it and planning out their training schedule. And it's just got great humor from all the people encountering this weird reality-bending power. He can invite people to parties. He just says, join party, and friends suddenly get pop-up windows of life in front of their face. And it's always funny to see their face the first time they see these pop-up windows. They're just like, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Gamer is really good. It's been going for a while. It is still updating. Check it out. And number 1, Can't See, Can't Hear, But Love. This one was an early entry in the webcomic manhwa style that I could find on the scan sites, and it is a heart-wrenching romance. A guy whose job was drawing comics got a degenerative brain problem that led him to go blind. Okay, that sucks. His profession was drawing, and he had some success. Well, one day, while in one of his fugue states, because now he's blind, one of his fans comes to his door. She's deaf. Now, that does create a bit of a thing where she doesn't talk because deaf people prefer not to talk because they don't know how they sound, so they usually end up sounding weird, so they just usually cut it out of their lives altogether. That makes communicating with the blind guy really hard, because he can't see what she's gesturing or writing down for him. And she can't understand his words at all because she's 100% deaf. And they fall in love, and the story is them trying to live together as hard as they can. It doesn't go into cliche romance, they get torn apart. It's got a very limited cast of characters. I can't go into too many details here because it would be really spoiler heavy, but this one hurts to read at times. And thank God it actually has a happy ending, eventually. They make you work for it. But yes, if you're looking for a new romance, Can't See, Can't Hear, But Love. Check it out. Alright, we're done. I might do a list like this for some of the more pornographic ones because some of them are actually kind of story focused. But for now, just stick with these. Boobies.